city council meetings and stuff? Do people come out? Or I know it's fear probably of some people, because our churches don't even come out when they should be at some of these meetings. And it bothers me, because back in the day, you know, I was born in 1950, I'm proud, I'm still here. 43. Praise the Lord. But, and you know, and I came up through the civil rights movement and stuff, sitting on the back of the bus with my mom and all that good stuff. So why aren't people participating? It's about us, all of us. If one person is hurt, then we all are going to be hurt. It's not, I don't care if you go down with a gun or what, but we got to stick together. We got to start planning how to create businesses, get buy land, and work together. So how do you get people to understand this?
You know, you asked perhaps the most profound question is, how do we walk toward each other in a society that's daily flipping people against each other and making people think that the enemy of the nation is Latinos, or the enemy of whites or blacks, and on it goes ad infinitum. And I think that this requires a level of consciousness and organizing that goes beyond the 60s. The 60s were a particular point in time. This is another period. The nation hadn't been in a period like this. The closest thing to it was a year or two preceding the Civil War, where that kind of divisiveness. And I don't know if people knew, the president said that if he wasn't elected, it would be the ballot or the bullet. He pulled on Malcolm's statement. And the militia and all of these groups are being encouraged. I think that a deep moral component of the movement has to be built into. Now, as somebody who has really kind of endured the spectrum of organizing, I've come to the view that you got to touch, that people have the potential of growing out of wherever they are. If we don't aim at that potential, and if our thing turn in tit for tat, this for that, even Steven, hit me, I hit you twice, that I think that actually, you can't beat European killing.
Say it again. You cannot. Say it again.
They have developed a massive way to do this, and it's all covered over by false religion. I'm a Christian, and actually, I've come to believe that we have to affirm the dignity and the worth and the enormous unrealized potential of everyone, but we can't start with everyone. That's the first thing I want to say. That you have to start with whoever is ready to move. That's called advance. But if you keep working, you keep wrapping, and it gets bigger and bigger, kind of like a hurricane, you know? A hurricane doesn't start off a great big 300-mile thing. It's just a little bunch of wind spinning and picks up more and more, picks up more and more, and after a while it becomes an enormous force. And so don't grow weary in well-doing. Actually, what you're doing today is almost off the radar. You know, that you're traveling throughout the South, and you're sharing your story, and you're hearing everybody's story, and we're making connections. I know we'll be together again. I don't know how, I don't know when, but in some sense, all like-minded people who see the danger that's developing in the country and see that falsehood can never produce a better life for the people. You can't do it. Only truth can do that. And so we've got to be the representatives of truth, and that truth is that everybody is somebody, even when you're acting like nobody. That's the faith statement right there. And we've got to press in that direction, and it's my prayer that the media will join in this and not come out and put up some lightweight story. So your question, I almost refuse to use that word, Your question is the question. How do we walk toward each other in all of our diversity, but don't expect it to be a runaway thing right in the beginning? Work with who you can work with, and that will give you a little broader field. Then work with a little broader field until you get a neighborhood organized, then organize another one, and keep pulling it together like that. And you hold your elected officials accountable. I don't know if you've already done that or not. All I know is she's here. And that's good enough for me.